What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Charlie Savidge, and today we have the 6th entry in my top 100 list. If you didn't know, these are all pulled from my YouTube short series of my top 100 video games of all time. I'm not saying these are the best, these are just my favorite, and there's 100 of them. So basically, this is a big, long recommendation list of 100 games. But if you want to watch them in the YouTube short/TikTok format, I'll put it in the cards here, and you guys can click on it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and hit that like and that subscribe. Thanks. Mining its way onto the list, the number 50 spot is Relogic's 2011 release, Terraria. The best way to describe Terraria is that it's like a 2D version of Minecraft, except it's so much more than that. The game is filled to the brim with a lot of different items, weapons, enemies, and areas for you to explore. I'm sure I'm even a bit out of touch with how the game is currently, but I still can't get over how much more depth there is than Minecraft. It even has some pretty incredible boss battles as well. Additionally, it has a wonderful 16-bit charm of any great SNES game. The soundtrack itself is also simply fantastic, and is worth a listen on its own if you enjoy any chiptune-inspired sort of music. It's a game that's so fun that in high school, me and my friend had sleepovers where we would stay up until the sun came out by accident. I can't recommend it enough. Wrenching its way onto the 49th spot of the list is Insomniac Games' 2014 reboot of Ratchet and Clank. While it is different from the original, it's honestly a better version of the game. Even if the story is told differently and stripped of its identity, the game plays a lot better and maintains the same charm of the universe. It honestly meant so much to me to see a lot of those same original levels were back in the game, and they were treated with such care when they were reintroduced. However, a lot of the parts that replaced some of the original parts are largely forgettable. That being said, it was a game that I loved enough to complete, as it has the traditional loop of the rest of the series. Kill everything, level up weapons, enjoy the fun story, redo on challenge mode, more levels, more weapons, higher difficulty. Just do yourself a favor and play through this game. Even if you've never played Ratchet and Clank, it's worth your time. Even if it's not the best game in the series, it can serve as an easy introduction to the franchise for anyone. Snowboarding its way onto the list at the 48th spot, we have the wonderfully stylistic 2001 title from EA, Big SSX Tricky. This is by far and away one of the best and most stylized sports games that I've ever played in my entire life. This is one of the first games I remember playing as a kid, and it formed a lot of my musical taste, including my affinity for Run DMC, my general foray into hip-hop as a whole, and whatever the fuck strange electronica, funk, big beat sort of shit this is. It's incredible. When it comes to the gameplay, there's a race mode, which is obviously racing, then there's show off, which is about tricks and getting giant snowflakes to multiply your jumps. The game also incentivizes you doing tricks and races to fill your tricky meter, which gives you a speed boost. Nailing an uber trick gives you a letter, getting all 6 gives you infinite speed boost. Go ahead and play it right now. It's amazing. I promise this game will not let you down. It's fucking awesome. Rambling its way to the 47th spot on the list is Rareware's Donkey Kong Country. I had originally played this game on the Game Boy Advance, but all versions of this game are valid as it's truly a classic Super Nintendo title. Originally released in 1994, this game was an instant classic as copies flew off the shelves, selling 500,000 in a week and 1 million the following week, and eventually selling over 9.3 million copies on the SNES alone, and becoming the third best-selling title for the console. Everything about this game is just damn near perfect. The graphics for the time were super great. The music, the level design, just the general gameplay, and the splendid world design, both in levels and that overworld map, are just amazing. This game is an absolute blast and is worth anyone's time. Please do yourself a favor and go play this game immediately. Catching the 46th spot on the list is Pokemon Fire Red. This is a remake of the original, but with more updated graphics and taking mechanics from the Gen 3 Pokemon games on the Game Boy Advance. I'm aware of my bias in that I'm choosing the Gen 1 Pokemon, but this is the first Pokemon game that I ever played. I remember trading with Link cables at school. I remember leveling up my Charmeleon and evolving it into a Charizard in my 2nd grade classroom. It's a wonderful, fantastic JRPG that simply captures the wonderful sense of discovery and adventure, and I think that's something that Pokemon still does to this very day with every single iteration. It's the most approachable and easy to play JRPG. It's a bit of a collectathon. Everything about it is just sheer joy, filled with tons of creative designs. I really just can't say enough about this game. Racing its way onto the list at the 45th spot is the GameCube classic Mario Kart Double Dash. Double Dash earns its spot for a myriad of reasons, including its ability to have 2 players in each cart, having special items for each pair of characters, letting people play in the same cart or separate. This factor alone makes it the most unique Mario Kart to this day, let alone at the time. Additionally, the track design, the music, and just generally tweaking of controls makes it such a fun experience. If you haven't spent days with your friends and family playing this game, then I highly recommend it, as it can lead to some insanely fun times. Everyone knows that Mario Kart is fun, but this one in particular is certainly worth going back to. Exploring its way onto the 44th spot on the list is Sid Meier's Civilization 6. This is a game that I somehow have sunk hundreds of hours into, yet I have almost no real idea of what's happening. I usually win as I play on an easy difficulty, but I realize that most people have some sort of long-term plan or strategy, whereas I just kind of explore, go to war, and recruit, and try to just keep up as best as I can. The game is a turn-based strategy game, and it has skill trees for progress, and these can speed up or slow down depending on your actions. Thus, different societies arrive at different technological inventions and advancements at different times. The objective in this turn-based strategy game is to win by destroying all other countries, achieving a great feat of science, spreading your religion, spreading your culture, or just getting a higher score. Then there's also a diplomacy win that was added in the Gathering Storm DLC. If you just vaguely like history and turn-based games, I recommend it. It's a game that feels unique in terms of what I normally play, and it's entirely outside of my comfort zone, but that's what makes learning the title so much fun. Kicking its way up to the 43rd spot on the list is Next Level Games' 2007 Wii title, Mario Strikers Charged. This is another one of the greatest sports games of all time. What really sets it above is its gameplay and the charge strikes that are involved. Charge strikes allow players to bombard their opponents with several shots in quick succession. If the reaction time isn't quick enough, a score can be ran up pretty quickly. Additionally, it wouldn't be a Wii game without motion controls, but to be honest, I don't mind them here as they're implemented very well. The main attraction in my opinion is the multiplayer, but Nintendo does a great job of making unlockables the main driving force behind a lot of their games, so this game is no exception. The single player campaign has you running through Cup mode, in which you battle your way through harder and harder challenges, needing to win games consistently and ultimately championships. Along the way, you'll unlock new characters and stadiums to compete in, many with their own catches and gimmicks. I also love how you pick teams with designated leaders and supporting characters. I still highly recommend going back to play this game, especially with a friend. It's a blast. Taking over the 42nd spot on the list is Pandemic Studios' 2005 hit release, Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is without a doubt one of my favorite games, one of my most comfortable games, and is something that I continue to play this day. To this day, there hasn't been a gameplay loop that is quite as satisfying as taking over command posts, defending, and retaking those bases, all being limited with the amount of troops you can have. Pair that with some truly iconic maps and locales, and a class-based system with vehicles and space battles, and you have one of the best games of a generation. This is undoubtedly influential to so many games that came after it. Even with its limited hardware and tech, it was able to make all the battles feel so large and truly captured my imagination as a kid. The whole experience features John Williams' iconic scores, memorable but repeated lines from soldiers. Oh, and Galactic Conquest is super dope. Overall, this game is an homage to both the originals and the prequels of Star Wars, and I absolutely love it. Dunking its way onto the list at the 41 spot is EA Canada's 2003 release, NBA Street Volume 2. This is actually one of the best sports games ever made. NBA Street Volume 2 features the best basketball gameplay that has ever graced gaming, period. You have a giant combination of tricks you can do, crazy dunks, stringing them together into combos to knock down and get around your opponents. This game adds so many little extremes and inconveniences in its design that just makes so much sense. The ball never goes out, and the only pass-ins are after scoring. There aren't any fouls, and you can power block and pull the ball out of the air, no goaltending. You can set hard picks and chain together alley-oops. This game is just absolutely insane. The same goes for the content that's within this game. Several iconic real-world courts, homages to street ball, showcases of former NBA players, and then the then-current roster of 2003. It even has a career mode for your custom character that you level up like an RPG, where you then unlock street legends, which are basically mini-bosses for the game. There's so much I want to say in this TikTok that I can't. Just go check it out. It's amazing.